And how come I can't write like Brahms? And why can't I just sit down and whip out a tune like Claire de Lune for a star? I was born too late to be a great composer, too late to be a mouseketeer. Well, sometimes I think it was over before I began, and other times I think it's alright here. There's a story that goes along with the song. When I was 7 years old, I had the blessing and the curse to know exactly what I wanted to do with my life. That's right, I knew beyond the shadow of a doubt that I wanted to be a mouseketeer. That's right, every day at 5 o'clock I used to watch the Mickey Mouse Club on what was then this big hunk of wood with this tiny little screen on it. You remember, you know what I'm talking about. And I used to imagine myself singing and dancing every day at California. And one day, to seal the deal, they aired a special broadcast from Disneyland about how the Mouseketeers had their own little compound at Disneyland, kind of a Mouska hotel. And I fantasized spending every day with Karen and Cubby and Annette and Annette and Annette. Well, around that same time, I was living in Queens, New York, with my family, and it turned out that a guy who lived in our building worked the lights for the Howdy Doody show. Remember the Howdy Doody show? Howdy Doody was kind of like a marionette puppet. And I kind of looked like Howdy Doody. I had these big cheeks with freckles and red hair and a space between my teeth. They even entered me in a Howdy Doody look-alike contest. Fortunately, I got better looking. Well, anyway, there was a guy in our building who worked the lights for the Howdy Doody show. Turned out that he could get us tickets to go see the Howdy Doody show, my parents and me. Not only could he get us tickets to see the Howdy Doody show, but he could arrange for me to be in the peanut gallery. The peanut gallery was where they put all the kids who watched the show. And they were even on the show. They used to cut to the peanut gallery. Not only were we able to go see the show and I was able to sit in the peanut gallery, these guys don't know anything about that, but they arranged for me to be interviewed. So there I was, live TV. Buffalo Bob's making his way through the kids. Finally gets to me, big close-up of my face, 2 front teeth missing, my crew cut. Remember there was this stuff that was in this like white box that my mother used to put, my crew cut goes straight up. Big close-up, Buffalo Bob gets to me and he says, "And what's your name?" I say, "Renard Cohen." And he says, "How old are you?" And I say, 7 years old. And he says, "And what do you watch every day at 5 o'clock?" And I said, "Mickey Mouse Club." Oh, you're listening to Walt. My parents are up there in the booth going, "Oh God, 7 years old, his career's over." Well, they never had me back to the Howdy Doody show for some reason. And I found out a little later that that special report that I'd seen had been filmed a couple of years before, so I was kind of a little too late for that. But I'm here right now singing for you at Mayfair, and that's just as good. Why can't I sing like Caruso? And how come I can't paint like Van Gogh? Dutch? And why can't I just sit down and write myself a Shakespearean play? Why it doesn't come, I just don't know. I was born too late to be a great composer, too late to be a mouseketeer. Well, sometimes I think it was over before I you. All right.